On December 5, 1945, as the late afternoon sun cast long shadows across the Naval Air Station in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers prepared for what should have been a routine training exercise. Flight 19, led by Lieutenant Charles Taylor, took off at 2:10 p.m. None of them would ever return. The weather was clear, the seas were calm, and the crews were well-trained. Their mission, known as Navigation Problem Number 9, was straightforward. Fly east from the Florida coast, conduct practice bombing runs at Hens and Chickens Shoals, and return to base. The entire exercise should have taken less than 3 hours. At 3:30 p.m., something went terribly wrong. Lieutenant Taylor's voice crackled over the radio. His compass appeared to be malfunctioning, and he believed he was over the Florida Keys. In reality, the squadron had veered far off course into the Atlantic Ocean. The 5 Avengers carried 14 men, experienced pilots and crew members who had flown countless missions during World War II. These aircraft were sturdy, reliable machines that had proven themselves in combat. Yet on this peaceful December afternoon, they found themselves in a desperate situation that would become one of aviation's most enduring mysteries. As the afternoon wore on, radio communications revealed increasing confusion and anxiety.
Are we sure we're not over the Gulf of Mexico? No, we're definitely still over the Atlantic.
Lieutenant Taylor initially turned his flight northeast, then southeast, then east, searching desperately for familiar landmarks. At 4:45 p.m., Taylor's last known radio transmission was picked up.
All planes close up tight. We'll have to ditch unless landfall. When the first plane drops below 10 gallons of gas, we all go down together.
The Navy launched an immediate search operation. A PBM Mariner flying boat took off from Banana River Naval Air Station with a crew of 13. In a cruel twist of fate, this rescue aircraft also vanished, last seen in a ball of fire over the ocean. Within hours, one of the largest search and rescue operations in U.S. history was underway. For 5 days, hundreds of ships and aircraft scoured over 300,000 square miles of ocean.
Do you see anything out there? Not a trace. The ocean's as empty as it was yesterday.
They found nothing. No oil slick, no debris, no bodies, no trace of the 6 aircraft and their 27 men. Flight 19 had vanished into what would later become known as the Bermuda Triangle.
Theories about the disappearance have multiplied over the decades.
Some point to magnetic anomalies that could have disrupted the compasses.
The Bermuda Triangle has always been a mystery. Could it be rapid weather changes? Or maybe massive methane gas bubbles causing disturbances?
The more imaginative explanations involve extraterrestrial intervention or dimensional portals.
We have to consider all possibilities, even the wild ones.
But the most likely explanation may be more straightforward, if no less tragic. As darkness fell on that December evening, the disoriented crews would have faced deteriorating weather conditions.
It's hard to see anything out here. Instruments aren't reliable.
Flying over open water at night with no visible horizon and unreliable instruments, they may have become victims of spatial disorientation. Their fuel would have run out somewhere over the Atlantic. In the dark, rough seas, their aircraft would have been nearly impossible to spot even if they managed to ditch successfully. The ocean depths in that region reach thousands of feet, making recovery of any wreckage extremely challenging. Today, Flight 19 remains one of aviation's most famous unsolved mysteries. The base where they departed is now a museum, preserving the memory of the lost patrol and their final flight. Despite numerous expeditions and searches over the years, no definitive trace of Flight 19 has ever been found. The depths of the Atlantic Ocean keep their secret, leaving us with questions that may never be answered. What really happened to those 5 Avengers? Did they succumb to some mysterious force, or were they simply victims of a tragic series of human errors and bad luck? The disappearance of Flight 19 reminds us that even in our modern age of GPS and satellite navigation, the sea and sky still hold mysteries. Somewhere in the vast Atlantic, 14 brave aviators and their aircraft rest in eternal silence, their true fate known only to the deep. Their story has become legend, a reminder of the thin line between routine and disaster, between the known and the unknown. Flight 19 took off into clear skies on a December afternoon in 1945 and flew into history as one of aviation's most enduring mysteries.